Well, hello and welcome back to our Team Lotus Manager Series in 2026 as we just have 3 races left now of this season and potentially the series as well. So we are very much closing out the season, and if you didn't check out the last episode, and before I show you the results, if you want to see that, then head over to the YouTube playlist, Team Lotus playlist, and you can see every episode of that series there. So if you need to catch up, head over to there. And of course, if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and then you'll be made aware of when all of our new episodes and content drop. And please do like the video, really does help me out. But yeah, spoilers then, last time out in Vegas, and Tsunoda had an absolute nightmare. It looked like he was going to challenge for the win with Max Verstappen, and he locked up a couple of times, got damage on his car, was right at the back of the field, but actually did really well to come home in P5 in the end. Ricciardo does beat him though, so Ricciardo finished P4, Alonso P6, and Tsunoda in the middle. So what that has done for the standings, Drivers' Championship here, if we have a look, it is now a 56-point margin. So there's 75 points available, or 78 if you include the fastest lap. And it's now a 56-point advantage for Ricciardo. So Ricciardo needs a 53-point margin going into the last 2 races to claim the championship in this race. So essentially, I believe if Ricciardo outscores Tsunoda in this next race, the championship will be over. If Tsunoda outscores Ricciardo, then it's likely to go to the final 2 races. So Tsunoda again needs to win all 3 of the remaining races and hope Ricciardo has a retirement or a couple of slip-ups. But it's looking really good for our driver. It's only really between these 2 now. Max Verstappen, though, isn't too far back. And mathematically, it's not over for him, but realistically it is over. And constructors again looking very good, though Red Bull are scoring quite a good amount of points at the moment, but again looking pretty good, 115 points. So we could wrap up both the drivers and constructors championship as we head to Qatar in this one. Okay, sponsor plan, and we've achieved the target. That's our engagement activities. Did we have any mandatory? No, we didn't. We've got $6 million in the bank, and absolutely fine, so we're not going to be doing much more design or spending now. We're just 3 races to go. Are we back to back in these races? We are back to back. Yeah, it's a triple header to finish, so yeah, there's not going to be much more spending that we do this year. And last sponsor plan. Out team size, that's fine. Engineers, yeah, we can afford that. Pit crew fatigue, we don't want. Nobles, we can do that, and that should meet the target. Let's confirm that then. Oh, Arvad Lindblad has gone up from 67 to 68 overall, and he will be the driver in 2027 if we have some sneaky episodes that we continue to drop on this series. He will be in the car next year. Here we go then, we've arrived at Qatar. Let's set our targets and let's jump in to practice.
Virtual safety car.
Okay, so Fernando Alonso's gearbox has given out. We ran it into this session at 2% and it's given up. So he is retired. Okay, so he's going to lose out on a bit of track acclimatization and setup potentially here. Here we go then, practice completed. And as we saw, Fernando Alonso had a retirement, so we don't quite know his final setup. It was 94% before that, so it's at least 94%. Track acclimatization a little bit down. Both got car parts and knowledge up to 94%, running a couple of new parts here. And we've probably got 1 or 2 new ones before the end of the year. Only 3 races, so I think we've got a front wing and rear wing we're designing. So potentially get them in the car, on the car, before the end of the season. Danny Rick up to 97% setup satisfaction, so pretty good. Well set up for qualifying. Fernando Alonso, a little bit of work to do as we head to qualifying next. Here we go then, underway in qualifying in Qatar. Let's get them both out.
And here we've got
as Magnussen has had a spin very early on. Ocon's just come out. Hopefully he didn't hold us up too much there because we've got no other traffic. Fingers crossed. Normally tell by the gap. 2 tenths, hopefully, won't be too bad. Well, we've decided not to go out. I'm a bit worried now because we're 1.5 and 1.7 off the fastest time. No one really of the slower cars jumped us apart from Gasly there. I think we're just about going to survive. We do. That was a little bit touch and go in the end there. But we're safely through to Q2 then. All right, straight back out in Q2 then on a scrub set this time. It does say that we're not that suited to this track. So we might get in the top 10. I'm not sure we're going to get much further than that as Norris gets out of the way. And Alonso is definitely going to have to go again this time. Okay, Alonso out then for his final run. And he is going green, so we're looking good. Hopefully now for Q3, Alonso puts in a P7 and safely through then to Q3. Any surprises down here? No, the Mercedes is not really a surprise here in 2026, so let's head on to Q3. Here we go then, Q3, our one and only runs, flying laps about to commence. Danny Ric first of all, and then Fernando Alonso just behind him. So let's see where we go here. It's currently Verstappen on provisional pole. I think he's about to start his final lap though, so he may go even quicker here. Most people apart from Lewis Hamilton on an in-lap. In fact, everyone apart from Lewis Hamilton on an in-lap. So Lewis's finish is quite a way back, so he'll be disappointed with that. I think he got stuck behind our own man there. Fernando Alonso held him up. Green sectors, of course, will be default because we haven't set a time yet in this Q3 session, and they both go green. We can compare, though. 25.7 for Ricciardo, 25.9 for Alonso. So Alonso, again, a couple of attempts off. Not had the pace of Danny Ric so far this weekend. Hulkenberg has finished, he's P3.
Your tyres are cold.
And Alonso's tyres are cold. He's not got them in the working window, it looks like here. Ricciardo, green again. So no purple showing up at the moment. The 28.1, 28.2. So Alonso currently about 3 tenths behind here. As everyone, apart from Verstappen and our 2 drivers, has finished. Ricciardo then, this final right-hander to navigate as he puts foot to the floor. He goes to the line. Where is Ricciardo going to go in this Qatar qualifying session? As we approach the line, Danny Ric, P3. I think we'll take that. And Alonso goes P7. Does end up about 3 tenths behind as expected. Verstappen, I don't think he went quicker, but he is still on pole. So it's Verstappen first, Tsunoda second, Ricciardo third, Alonso P7. We see it here then. So Tsunoda's got to finish above Ricciardo at least, and he's qualified above him. Verstappen mathematically still not out of this championship, so he's trying his best. But it's Max on pole, Yuki second, Ricciardo third, Hulkenberg fourth, Sainz fifth, Leclerc sixth, Alonso seventh, Hamilton eighth. Then we have the 2 McLarens in Norris and Piastri respectively, rounding out the top 10. Let's look at strategy before we hit the track in Qatar. Here we go then, strategy setup. It's going to be a 2-stopper with both drivers. Slightly different though. Ricciardo's going to go soft, medium, softs. Not quite working for Alonso, that strategy. So we're going to go longer on the first stint. Medium, then medium, and finish off on a soft. Worth noting, Alonso's car setup is now at 92%, so a little bit behind Ricciardo, but not too much. But here we go then. Ricciardo starts third, Alonso seventh. Let's get underway in this Qatar Grand Prix. And Daniel Ricciardo become the World Drivers' Champion here in Qatar in 2026. There's going to be Max Verstappen gets underway very quickly there. As I say, Tsunoda P2 is the only one that can really challenge Danny Ric, and Danny Ric is moving ahead of him early on here. Tsunoda looks like he's got an awful start, and he was nearly down to P4, but he holds off Carlos Sainz there. Ate, hi buddy, how's it going? Hope you're well. Let's have a quick look at the tyres then. So Max, Ricciardo, Tsunoda all on softs, Sainz medium, Hulkenberg softs. And we've got a couple of hard runners in the middle there. But yeah, I think... Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Hold on, what's going on here? George Russell, I think, has had a moment.
Yellow, where you are?
Okay, understood.
Yeah, George has had a spin.
Now here, we're taking turn 6. Whoa, and there it goes.
Yeah, no contact. Lights up the rear. And George is at the rear. Going well, and you can see Calper is in the playoffs. Good stuff, Atty. Good stuff, buddy. Yeah, so I was just going to have a look at the standings. So, yeah, 50 points would be, or 52 with the fastest laps would be left after this race. So, yeah, if Ricciardo outscores Tsunoda here, then he'll become world champion. He might even become world champion though, finish a little bit lower down, not sure. But certainly if we beat Tsunoda here, Danny Ric will become world champion. I believe. Although if Max wins... No, Max is 70-odd points, so Max mathematically could still win it. But not after today. And here we go, Danny Ric on the inside of Max Verstappen to take the lead here in Qatar. And he does lead. It would be nice to win the race. If we won the race, that would put it all to bed. And Ricciardo would be a world champion, a one-time world champion. Long way to go, and we haven't really had the pace on these Red Bulls and RBs of late, so let's just see how we go. Here he is. Ricciardo does go defensive, but he can't cover him off. And Max Verstappen reclaims the lead then. And we'll just... a little bit out wide there. We'll just filter in behind. But is Yuki going to try and have a go at him here? He's having a look. Around the outside. No, not going to happen. And Alonso round the outside of Nico Hülkenberg. He is going to get that done. But we used a lot of battery there. We're probably going to have to give that back. Well, not give it back, but we're probably going to lose that because we need to top up and we need to look after the tyres a bit.
Excellent job.
And Hülkenberg does get that position back. And we're going to be under pressure now from Yuki Tsunoda. We've lost the DRS to Max Verstappen. And Tsunoda is within our DRS. So this is going to be very difficult to defend. As I say, we've not really had the pace of the Red Bull and the RB across the last few races. Might be the same again here. Tsunoda, good tyre life as well. So this should be job done for Yuki, you'd imagine. As Yuki's going to the outside and Carlos Sainz is getting a nice toe off him. Carlos Sainz thinking about taking the position as well, and he does. Carlos Sainz seized the opportunity there, had DRS, got in the toe, and Ricciardo goes from second to fourth. So the World Championship might continue here with Yuki.
So heading into turn 1 here, the opportunity's there.
Look at this. Sainz had DRS, of course, but he was also getting the toe off Yuki, and that just propelled him round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Here we go then, Ricciardo. Carlos Sainz, who got past him, and Tsunoda's setting the fast lap of the race, and he's pulled 2.5 seconds, and he's all over the back of Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo says thank you very much, and he's back on the podium, up to P3 then. Alonso's kind of falling in a bit of no man's land at the moment. Sainz isn't a medium runner, to be fair, though, so Sainz not doing too bad there. Leclerc has fallen away. So Alonso, I think he'd be safe from anything behind him at this moment in time.
Yeah.
All right, Sainz has caught back up to Ricciardo. These two are just going to carry on all race. Santander money helps Williams Racing this year. Yeah, they've got quite a bit of sponsors and backing, and they've got plenty of spare parts this year as well as Williams, so that's all good for them. Right, Carlos Sainz then. And he is back past us. As I say, these Red Bulls and RBs got the pace on us at the moment, so it's going to be hard to hold on to Sainz.
Keep the head down.
So if we look at the standings, as it stands right now, there'd be 42 points between Tsunoda and Ricciardo, and there'd be 52 available after today's race. So Tsunoda would keep the championship going at this rate. All right, Ricciardo's about to come into the pits. We'll jump back on board. Here he comes. Come on, pit crew. Let's have a nice clean stop as Verstappen's in as well. Looks like we are battling for maybe P4 here today. The podium might be too far gone. We've got a yellow flag.
Car is off.
Someone's had a spin. Pit crew gets to work. It's another slow stop. We've had a few recently, and they've been very slow ones. And I'm getting it again here, 5.9. Well, that's definitely saying goodbye to the top three. Definitely not what we want to see there.
Sorry about that. Focus on reaction time and no full throttle before pit exit.
I say Hülkenberg, Piastri have already stopped, and they've comfortably cleared Ricciardo.
And that's currently P9.
Right, Alonso's got a couple laps to go. Right, here comes Fernando. Let's hope the pit crew deliver better here, but they seem to be making mistakes on Ricciardo's car, not Alonso's, and we'd probably want it the other way around if we could choose, because Alonso can't win the Drivers' Championship.
Understood.
Here we go then. That's better. 2-second stop. A lot better that time round.
White line on the exit.
Sainz has stopped as well. And he's just going to be behind Ricciardo, is he? No, he's going to be ahead of Ricciardo. So that's worked out well. Of course, Ricciardo had that awful stop, though.
Okay, and let's do a small lift off.
Oh, and Alonso. I thought Alonso and Leclerc were coming together there. What's Leclerc's issue here? Charles has got an engine issue. We should be able to get back past him pretty comfortably. He's on hards. Good tyre advantage.
7.7.
Again, this race might come back to Ricciardo at the end here. Down in 6th at the moment. I don't think he can get anywhere near Tsunoda and Verstappen.
A little bit.
Sainz, who knows? And he's now going to get DRS. This should hopefully be job done. I'll be into P7, but he's going to be behind his teammate, actually, Ricciardo, but he's going to be 10 seconds back. So, just need to push on a bit now. Give him a little bit of attacking, just break that DRS to Charles. Piastri's into the pits. Piastri is down to 28% there, so Piastri making his second stop. So he's got to go 23 laps on his final stint. It's on a set of mediums, but it's going to clear us by quite a bit, but his tyres will be quite... well, they'll be degrading by the time we get to him. As Ricciardo comes into the pits, as he's coming into the pits, Piastri is going to move past his teammate. Ricciardo had an awful stop first time around. That's a little bit better. 2.2, not our fastest, but certainly no mistakes there. As Piastri does indeed move past Alonso. So Ricciardo is going to the end now. And is he going to clear Lando Norris? He is. And he's back behind Nico Hülkenberg.
P7.
8 seconds, 5 seconds, but Hülkenberg has got an issue, so hopefully Ricciardo can close that. 14 to go then, including this one, as here comes Fernando. Hopefully this is going to be a good stop. He had a good one first time around, 2 seconds flat. Sainz seems to be in there forever, but... 2.3, not our quickest, but again, no major errors in there.
Pit lane speed limiter off.
Sainz has stopped and he's cleared Ricciardo, so... where is Norris compared to Alonso here? Should be good for this. Yeah, Norris is a long way back, isn't he? Yeah, so Alonso's safe there.
Car behind is Norris at 6 seconds. Gap 5.2.
Right, so let's have a look then. Ricciardo's now 5 seconds behind Hülkenberg. Sainz is there, but I don't think we can realistically challenge Sainz. Can we get to Piastri? I think it's probably 4th is the best we can hope for here today.
Copy.
Hülkenberg's got a bit of traffic there, it looks like. Yeah, Esteban Ocon. Hopefully Ocon gets out of the way nicely for us both here. Ocon is holding Hülkenberg up a treat here. Oh, but now he's just held us up.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
Ah, that has just cost us DRS probably. Ooh, I don't know. It's very close. I think we're just about going to get DRS. Right, mate, I never usually have a good result in Qatar as my engines are shot by then. Yeah, that can be an issue. Here we go then, gaining, are we too far away? Danny Rick, he's going to have a look on the inside. Daniel Ricciardo, past Nico Hülkenberg then. Hülkenberg's struggling with an issue also on the hard tyres, although he's not going to give this up, Hülkenberg. He's still on the inside, so we're going to have to fight for this, and Hülkenberg still very much in this. They're still side by side just about, but now Hülkenberg has to concede, and he's pushed out wide for good measure there. And we're now only 1.3 off Piastri, so definitely looking like we can get Oscar here.
Roger.
Just keep looking after your tires.
We've got another back marker we're approaching. George Russell. George Russell in 15th. In the Mercedes, absolutely having an awful weekend.
Only can use the deploy.
All right, here we go. Danny Rick. Got to try and get this done now.
Understood.
We're all over the back of Oscar Piastri then.
Hülkenberg behind.
Oscar pulls to the, well, I say inside more the middle of the track, so we'll loop back around the outside. Danny Rick using battery, using DRS.
6 more laps.
And that one is going to be done before the corner. And we're going to continue to actually push on that battery. Let's break the DRS. Ricciardo then. Just had so much speed. We had a bit of a tow there. Then we had DRS and battery. And as I say, well done. All done before the corner.
Putting down those rear
What
tires.
can we do with Fernando here? Can we do anything?
Push.
Copy.
Tell you what we can try and do.
Overtake is available.
Try and take the
Overtake
fastest
available.
lap, although we've got a back marker, which...
Copy.
Yeah, Pierre Gasly.
Recharge on, please, mate.
He's probably going to get in the way of this, but... Let's see if Alonso can go for a fastest
Hold
lap
the
here.
overtake.
Yes.
5 more laps.
No, Gasly is going to get in our way. Gasly gets out of the way nicely here, then it'll be very, very much on for a fastest lap, but
Okay, you've got blues ahead for Gasly.
okay, it wasn't too bad. Let's have a look at these sector times. See if we can take the fastest lap off Yuki Tsunoda. Purple through the first sector. So Yuki would be taking the extra point. So this is key to try and take this off him for Danny Rick. Playing the team game here. Ricciardo has got 4 seconds nearly on Piastri, so he looks safe in P4. Alonso's taking a lot of time out of Hülkenberg and Piastri while we push on this lap. Going to use all the battery. It's not purple through the middle sector, so this is not set in stone. It'll be a fastest lap.
Out the tyres.
They're struggling a little bit.
Fernando Alonso then. About to come across the line. Is this going to be a purple lap?
We are out of DRS.
Out of DRS. It is a purple
Goes on
lap.
the purple lap.
Fernando takes the fastest lap off Yuki Tsunoda, so the bonus point that Tsunoda
Really
was going to
focus on
get
cooling tyres.
is taken away from him. Some good work from Fernando there, and he's actually closed within 5 seconds of Piastri and Hülkenberg here.
Just stay focused.
Hülkenberg looks like he's probably going to be safe though, because he's pulled 2.2 seconds. Alonso though has arrived on Oscar Piastri here. Can Fernando move into P6? It looks like we're about to clinch the Constructors' Championship here in Qatar. Danny Rick won't yet be the Drivers' Champions, but we will
Some
become
bleeding, some temperature.
Constructors' Champions here today. Can Alonso bag us even more points?
Cool the tyres.
Is he going to have a go through here, is he? Fernando? Fernando,
Come on,
he
mate.
is. That's a great effort from Fernando through there. The only problem
Yuki
is we're going to give DRS to Piastri, so that may not work out in our favour here. As Piastri is going to have a
That's very
great opportunity to get us straight back here. Fernando maybe should have been a little bit more patient
Hülkenberg
there,
ahead.
because we've used all our battery.
Gap 3.1.
I don't think we're going to be able to defend this.
Caution on the battery.
Yeah, copy.
Here comes Piastri.
Certainly don't let any cars
Alonso
pass you.
can keep him behind just about. Hülkenberg is now 3 seconds up the road. So there's nothing we can do on
Focus
Nico
on bringing the tyre
Hülkenberg.
temperatures down.
Okay.
But Alonso looks like he should have P6, although the tyre is about to fall off here. Might not be over yet. Instincts for the follow. This is going to continue for a little while yet. Yuki Tsunoda has won then in Qatar. He keeps his Drivers' Championship dream alive to at least go to the final 2 races of the season. It's going to be Max Verstappen to finish second. Carlos Sainz's teammate in Red Bull is going to finish third. And Alonso continues to battle with Oscar Piastri here.
Hold the overtake.
Danny Rick behind the Aston Martin here of K-Mag, it looks like, is going to round this final corner. Danny Rick not on the podium today, but P4 is solid. Danny Rick will finish P4, but Alonso continuing to fight with Piastri. Have we got enough battery here?
Okay, we take the flag.
This could be tight. I think Oscar's going to get us here, is he?
P4.
This is the drag, but no, the line comes to us. Thank goodness it did, because Oscar would have got us by the end of that straight. But we see the line just in time. And Fernando Alonso will finish P6. So Tsunoda wins it. Verstappen second. Sainz third. Ricciardo P4. Hulkenberg P5. And Fernando Alonso finishes P6. I'm pretty sure we are now the Constructors' Champions. But let's wait and see.
Thank you, guys.
And the celebrations now can begin.
There it is.
They'll be taking the Constructors'
Team
title
Lotus,
back home.
champions of the world. It has took us 3 years. We started with the worst facilities, $2 million in the bank, the worst car. We were 2 seconds off getting through to Q2 in our first ever race. And now 3 years later, we are champions of the world as Yuki Tsunoda wins it. And he keeps his dream going for this Driver Championship for at least another race. There's 2 to go.
That picture right there.
Let's have a look how it all ends up then. Yuki Tsunoda up 1 to win it. Max Verstappen second. Carlos Sainz third. Ricciardo fourth. Hulkenberg fifth. Fernando Alonso up 1 to 6th. Piastri 7th. Lando Norris 8th. Hamilton 9th. And Leclerc 10th. Fernando Alonso, as we saw, took the fastest lap away from Yuki. So Yuki loses a point. Alonso grabs us an additional point, helping out his teammate Ricciardo in this Drivers' Championship. As we say, just 2 races to go. That means there's a maximum of 52 points available. 50, obviously, for 2 wins. 25 points times 2. And then 2 points, a point for each fast lap. So Tsunoda can get a maximum of 52 points. And he is 43 points behind. So we'll do the calculations off screen. But essentially, what is that? 43. We need 52. So we need 10, I believe. We need 10 points. So if we finish 5th. Yeah, if we finish 5th. Even if Tsunoda wins it and we finish 5th in the next race in Abu Dhabi, I think that will be enough. So Ricciardo is nearly there, but Tsunoda keeps it going. And if Ricciardo has an issue, a retirement, or something like that in the next race, it is going to be very squeaky bum time as we get to the final race of the season. So hopefully there's going to be no dramas. And Danny Rick is going to become a world champion. But he still leads them. 43 points. Yuki Tsunoda coming at him. Max Verstappen third. That is now mathematically over. So the only one that can challenge Ricciardo is Yuki Tsunoda. Fernando Alonso in 4th. That looks to be where he's going to finish. Sainz is 5th. Piastri 6th. Hulkenberg moves up to 7th, jumping Lando. Valtteri Bottas 9th. And Lewis Hamilton 10th. Rest of the point scorers in 2026. Leclerc, Russell, Pourchaire, Albon, Perez, Gasly, Ocon, Bortoletto. No new point scorers, so the same 4 still yet to score. And Constructors, here we are then, Constructors champions. And what's the gap now? 103 points to Red Bull, so it's not dominant. They're eating into that. It might be a smaller gap by the time we get this season over, but we have done it. We are champions of the world in Team Lotus. Red Bull second. They're looking pretty good for that, but it's still going to be a fight between themselves and their sister team, RB. For second in the Drive Championship, the Constructors Championship. McLaren are going to have to settle for 4th. Ferrari look like they've secured 5th now. Mercedes will finish 6th. And we've still got this fight for 7th between Haas, Aston Martin, Williams and Audi. But it's now been 3 or 4 races where none of them has scored. So still looking good for Haas in that one. And Alpine still yet to score. Pit stops weren't great today. I think we got 1 2-second flat. A 2-second flat. So hopefully we got some points for that one. We did. We got 6 points there. We do move down to 6th though, but we should finish at least 6th. So I think we finished 10th in the first year, 9th in the second. So that will be our best finish as well in the fastest pit stop competition. So looking very good. But you've got to like the stream on that. If you've not liked the stream already, Please do like the stream. Celebrate our championship victory. Team Lotus, Constructors Champions in 2026. Come on, the boys, Alonso and Ricciardo. Great work. And we see this out as Constructors Champions. Just 2 races to go then. And looking very good for Danny Rick.